the second leg of our Kamilaroi Highway road trip. Thanks so much for joining us once again. Our first episode through this stunning region of New South Wales took us from Willow Tree to Moree. And now we're back on the road again, and no doubt plenty more great people, places and awesome stories to uncover. So far, we've travelled from our starting point at Willow Tree through Gunnedah, Narrabri and onto Moree. From here, we're making our way to Lightning Ridge before we move on to nearby Walgett, through to Brewarrina and wrapping up our Kamilaroi Highway road trip in Bourke. Well, still a way to go, and that means plenty more people to meet, plenty more road to cover and plenty more of Australia to experience. They say that there is nowhere in Australia quite like Lightning Ridge. And on first impressions, this town, just over 700 k's from Sydney, portrays a combination of unorthodox and entrancing rural sophistication. You know, I talk about being different and rural sophistication. I mean that in a good way. In fact, I mean it in the best way possible. I'm a massive fan, and plenty of others are. 80,000 visitors come to Lightning Ridge each and every year, and it is the only place in Australia and very few places in the world that has the highly prized and very rare black opal. A few other words come to mind when talking up Lightning Ridge. Compelling, quirky, different, eccentric. This place is certainly out of the ordinary. On our way into town, you can't help but notice Stanley the Emu, designed by one of the Outback's favourite painters, who just happens to have a gallery in town. John, how did this journey begin for you?
Chris, it's a long journey, mate. It's probably I've been painting 40 years full time now. I did up an old Toyota Hi-Ace van, and I thought I'll take off and travel around Australia and make a living out of being an artist, totally naive. Anyway, I got to Lightning Ridge, and the people here, because Lightning Ridge is a transient sort of a town, they've all come from all over the world looking for opal. No one cared what you did, they were all chasing a dream.
Right.
And I'm chasing a dream, and I thought, this is the land of dreamers.
Yeah.
I had no idea what I was going to paint when I got here, but looking at the big sky, and if you put something in front of a big sky, that's your subject then,
Yeah.
So it was quite easy then, living in Lightning Ridge, to put an old truck in front of a nice sky, or an old car in front of a nice sky.
I love the fact how Lightning Ridge has inspired you to be the artist you always wanted to be, and now, mate, opening up a gallery as well.
These days I'm extremely happy with it because it's sufficient enough, and it gives me an income now where I can travel and paint and be a bit more free. If you're doing something that you like, don't do it for the money, do it for the love of it. And that's what I've done. So people now saying to me, because I'm a bit older of course, and they're saying, when are you going to retire? I go, what, take up painting? So I am never going to stop painting because it's just what I want to do.
This is where your passion can take you. Well done, mate.
Yeah, oh, thank you.
The Australian Opal Centre is one of Lightning Ridge's most visited attractions, and it's where you can find out all about why this region in outback New South Wales is so important. So Lightning Ridge used to be a forested plain near an ancient sea, and I'm talking a long time ago, like 100 million years ago, when my mate and his friends roamed the earth. It is home to one of Australia's most important fossil sites, and the centre boasts a fantastic and very rare collection of opalised fossils, telling the stories of the rich and colourful history and heritage of the region in the heart of Australia's opal fields. In the next few months, some massive changes are coming to the Opal Centre. I think the plans are going to blow you away. It is a magnificent, big, shiny new building built into the landscape and filled with treasures and the stories behind the people that found them. So stay tuned. The people out this way are very excited, and they should be, for what's coming to Lightning Ridge. Pete Cook, outback opal hunter, gatherer of many treasures, a man of ideas and a true legend out here. Well, mate, you've had a multifaceted, storied career, to name but a few: mechanic, opal hunter / miner, and looking around me, fantastic artist.
I have a lot of fun in my sheltered workshop here.
Mate, do you remember that moment where you found that first opal of note you pulled out of the ground after hours and hours of toiling?
Yeah, the hairs stand up on your arms, and I've said it before, it's the best feeling you can get with your clothes on, mate. It's find an opal, it's a buzz, it's good.
Tell me about the sculptures, mate, because they're incredible. Like, how does all of this start for you?
It's all old mining equipment, so it's connected to the ridge. Like the latest sculpture I'm working on now, I've used explosives to blow the side out of an edgy, and it's going to be a water feature, you know, so it's a lot of fun, you know, I enjoy it.
Of course it is, Pete. Of course it is. Mate, it must be super satisfying when it all comes together. So I look at your big, beautiful pterodactyl.
And that's my soft maternal side coming out of me, the mother feeding the child a small crocodile, you know. It's a nice one, yeah. You've got to have a sense of humour and not take yourself too serious is the main thing.
So, mate, what's the next part of the plan? Because I know the brain doesn't stop ticking.
With the sculptures, I thought an excuse to keep making more of them is have an 18-hole mini golf course. So every green's got to have at least one sculpture or more.
Oh, so each one of your sculptures is going to be a hole. So
Absolutely,
you've got to, say, bang it through the pyramid
Yeah, we up a ramp through the pyramid around there. There's an agitator that'll be spinning around. You'll put the golf ball into that and it'll come out. There's some goofy stuff going on.
I don't reckon I want to be Pete Cook when I grow up. You're having the time of your life out here, aren't you?
I am, and I still haven't grown up. So it's good. It's a good spot, and that's what Lightning Ridge is about. Unless you do what you want to do.
Oh, this is the way to finish the day here at the Bore Baths in Lightning Ridge. Now, this water is naturally heated to 41 degrees from the artesian waters below, and from a basin said to be around 2 million years old. Absolutely glorious. Well, tomorrow we're on the move again, plenty more adventures down the road. But that is then, and this is now, where I'm just going to soak these old bones and I'm going to say goodnight before I fall asleep. Good night. From the Kamilaroi word meaning the meeting of two waters, where vast black soil plains nurture a thriving agricultural industry, this is Walgett. From Lightning Ridge, we made it to the town located at the junction of the Namoi and Barwon rivers, hence where the two waters meet. A town said to be full of charm and adventure. The gateway to the opal fields, this once busy paddle steamer port, is also said to be full of character, which of course no doubt means full of characters. Nearby muddy waters is a fisherman's dream, and you add to that art trails and artesian bore baths and more, and I reckon Walgett has got us well and truly covered for the next couple of days. Back in 1965, a significant event happened in Walgett. One that brought important attention to the everyday discrimination and segregation of the Aboriginal people in the Walgett community. And today, an informative memorial park commemorates the local community members, families and the students who took part, providing locals and visitors alike with a quiet space to sit and reflect and learn more about an event that marked the beginning of change in Walgett. So Amy, can you tell me about the Freedom Ride and the events leading up to the Freedom Ride?
There were so many things like ex-services couldn't access the RSL, Aboriginal children weren't allowed to go to swimming pools, there were certain parts of the town that were segregated. So the Walgett Freedom Ride Memorial Park has simply been here for that purpose, to commemorate that and to keep that truth-telling alive as well, we feel. And it was a very proud moment for, Walgett and our community, for the people that put themselves on the line and to show that strength towards, making change for us. So I think it's important that this park tells that story but keeps that history there alive.
Aboriginal, national living treasure and award-winning musician and actor Jimmy Little was a Walgett local for some time, and his life is celebrated on the Walgett Water Tower. This incredible mural of Jimmy was commissioned by the Shire of Walgett. Not only recognises his contribution to the music industry, but also reconciliation, Indigenous health and education programs. So as you can see, a great tribute to a great Australian. Local artists painted the portrait, which was completed in 2020, and profiles the first Indigenous Australian to receive mainstream music success. In 2010, Jimmy was awarded the APRA prestigious Ted Albert Award for his outstanding services to the Australian music industry. and the mural is a fitting tribute to the life he lived and shared. As we've travelled around this beautiful region that takes in the Kamilaroi Highway, we've been lucky enough to dip into, quite literally, the wonderful joys and benefits of the Great Artesian Basin. And here in Walgett, we can do the same. Now, the basin itself is around 2 million years old, and the bores that supply the bars, like this one right here, have been rehabilitated to preserve this wonderful natural resource for generations to come. Now, this is my third dip in a bore bath. I can say unequivocally, massive fan. I love it. Does someone say a country pub in the outback? Ooh, let me at it. Grawin Opal Miners Sports and Rec Club, around 40 minutes out of Walgett, is fondly recognised as the club and the scrub, and is set amongst the Grawin Opal fields. Jess, this place is unreal. I don't know where to look. How did the club and the scrub start? Or when
So
did
there
it start?
was originally another pub out here, like the first original pub, and then the floods came. So he put his beer up 20 cents. Well, you know, there was a lot of money in them days. And then when the floods went down, he never put his money down. So the miners went, well, we're going to build our own place. And so it just started as a little shed.
I can only imagine the different people that have come to this place. Who have you seen? Because you've been here for a long time. What sort of people? Where are they from?
Oh, all over.
Yeah.
All over Australia, all over the world.
So where have all the signs that are on the outside and inside and on the floors and everywhere, where have they all come from?
Most of the locals,
Yeah.
they just get enjoyment out of making stuff.
What does the club and the scrub mean to you? I mean, you went away, you came back, you've been here for a while. Like, what is it?
It's just home.
The club and the scrub, what a place. They agree. You know, it really is a fantastic slice of this country, and I reckon outback country pubs like that, they are the storytellers of the region. And can I highly recommend to visit one as soon as you can. Get a cold drink, a meal as big as your head, and sidle up next to a local. You will not regret it. A fantastic experience. Speaking of experiences, we have plenty more to come along our road trip along the Kamilaroi Highway. We've arrived at the rural community of Warriner, a remote township on the banks of the Darling Barwon River. Well, we are well and truly set amongst nature in this town and the beautiful surrounding area. And it is an area that has a strong Aboriginal significance, but more on that a little later. Bree also has a colonial history well worth talking about. It was once the highest point that paddle steamers could reach on the Darling River waterway. This is a historic and iconic Barwon Bridge built in 1889. It lifted up in the centre to allow paddle steamers to pass below to continue up and down the river. Now this, I'm going to call stunning bridge, is one of only 2 surviving first lift bridges in New South Wales. Back to how important this region is for First Nations people, where tribes from across eastern Australia could come together to meet by the banks of the Barwon and what is thought to be the world's oldest human-made structure. And today we're going to get a real insight into this region's Indigenous history with local traditional owner, Brad Hardy. Brad, I've never seen anything like this.
This is our ancient fish traps here. Now, our fish traps are built like a U shape. Can you see them all?
Yeah.
They're built like a U shape, C shape facing downstream. Now, why? Because fish swim upstream. What used to happen here, when the fish would get hit here, that's one catcher, fish would hit that section, that's another catcher. They're all your catchers in the beginning, before the fish traps, meeting place, gathering place, sharing place. 8 different tribes that spoke 8 different languages built our fish traps, and our place became a super popular meeting place, gathering place, sharing place amongst the tribes. So the fish trap distance used to go about a 500 plus metre distance of catches and storages. So now we have about 280 metres left. So straight down here, that's where our people used to sharpen their tools and weapons for hunting. Everything our people needed in the old days is here. Fish, water, bird life, corroboree, ceremony, dance, meeting place, gathering place, sharing place, place of peace, place of ochre, place of burial. Everything our people needed in the old days is here.
Mate, I can tell you've got a real passion for telling the story, and I just want to say thank you so much for letting me in on this. It's quite extraordinary. You love telling people about it.
Yeah, so that's my duty as a person, as a tour guide. I learn from old people, I share with the young, and share with whoever's in this space. So my duty is to keep it evolving. I can't let it die with me. I got to keep it evolving. Yeah.
Time to discover more of Bree. So Dave, you grew up here. You're now the CEO of the Shire. You're a Bree boy through and through. But your family goes back a long way here, doesn't it?
Yeah, so my great-great-great-great-grandmother were one of the first ladies, the first explorers that actually found when they first came through. My family and our connection to the river, which you see behind me, the Barwon River, which is its traditional name, goes back many, many thousands of years, and it's something I'm really proud of.
Tell us about this spot, mate.
Yeah, so what you're looking at beyond us here, Chris, is an extremely unique area and the 4 Mile Camping Reserve, where potentially we have, during the tourist season, we could have anywhere up to 100 vans a night come through on the tourism trail, which is basically the ever popular Kamilaroi Highway. One of the things in which we like to do is to try and keep them here.
And mate, there's going to be some big changes to this beautiful spot, which you just talked about as well, to keep people here, like you say.
Been able to capitalise recently on significant grants through state and federal government has allowed us to be able to look at the redevelopment of these areas, and it's something that's really exciting, and it's something we're looking forward to. Love Bree. It's who I am. It's in my DNA, and if anyone ever wants any fishing lessons, please stop in, and I'll give some free ones, although you might be upset. So.
Well, that is Bree. Tell you what, I could spend a bit more time out here. In fact, I reckon I could spend a couple of days just hanging out by this river, because this is a great spot to just relax and take it easy. And then, of course, immerse yourself in the incredible culture and the history. The stories that come out of this region are just unbelievable. And then add to that, the chance to just get amongst the outback, as I'm doing right now, is just unreal. The end of our Kamilaroi Highway road trip. On arriving in Bourke on the banks of the Darling River, you think you're a long way from anywhere, and in a way, that's true. The soul of the outback. There are roads leading in every direction to surrounding communities so you can explore further. And as renowned writer and poet Henry Lawson once wrote about Bourke when he visited in 1892, if you know Bourke, you know Australia. Well, you know what they say around here? The back of Bourke. No doubt you've heard it. It's one of the most recognisable phrases in Australian folklore. The people, the culture, the history, the wide open spaces. This is what brings thousands of visitors to this outback town each and every year. One of the biggest attractions in town is the Back of Bourke Information and Exhibition Centre. And on first impressions, it nails the story of Bourke 100%. This world-class exhibition brings the outback to life with stunning interactive displays and stories of Australia's outback, from its rich cultural history through to where we are today. You could spend hours here uncovering the stories of the early explorers and the people who have helped shape this region over many years. And yes, Henry Lawson gets a mention too. The way they've showcased the history and stories of Bourke and the outback is honestly amazing. Now, honestly, I would come to Bourke just to see this.
We love it. 3 buildings full of all of the history, talking about the river days back with the poets, you know, people from the land telling stories, our sports stars from Bourke. It's great, we love it.
There are so many stories to tell, but you've done it beautifully. Done it really, really well.
Thank you. And a lot of it reflects back to the Darling River. And of course we wouldn't be here without the beautiful Darling River. And then from that Darling River, what has grown is Bourke and our community. And this is our chance to tell the story of the Back of Bourke.
It's time to get in amongst the countryside around Bourke. And about an hour southwest of Bourke, we're greeted by the imposing and spectacular Gundabooka National Park, a destination full of fantastic walk trails, culture and history. I reckon if you've come out this far, you may as well have a good poke around. And while Bourke is cool, of course, you and me, let's be honest, we came for the Back of Bourke. Well, this is an outback trip that's bound to inspire, an area of great Aboriginal and European heritage. Gundabooka National Park and State Conservation Area stretches from the banks of the Darling River across the rugged plains and over Mount Gundabooka. Rising 500 metres above the park, the mountain is of strong cultural significance to the local Nemba Aboriginal people, and you're welcome to stay a while with some great spots for camping. Oh, we are well and truly off the beaten track here after a short hike through some rock and scrub to be presented with this unbelievable Aboriginal rock art. You can see represented people, animals and hunting tools used as an emu just here. You know, it's so quiet here and so remote. You can really get a sense of the people that lived here so long ago. And honestly, it feels like a real privilege to be here. Well, time to make our way back into town. Back in the 19th century, Bourke was a major river port and trading post. And the Darling River played a very important role in the everyday operations that made this area of New South Wales so important back then. And today we're going to jump aboard this big, beautiful paddle boat to find out a little bit more about this region's rich riverboat history. All aboard. The PV Jandra has been cruising the Darling Barker River since the year 2000. However, the original Jandra, a steam paddle boat commissioned by local Arthur Senior, graced the waters around here back in 1894. And at the turn of this century, the Mansell family crafted this modern vessel by the same name and was later purchased by the Berkshire Council. What a win for Bourke to have something like this to show off, you know, the rich history of the place.
Yeah, we are so lucky, so proud to have it, and the visitors and our community are so pleased to have it. It's the start of the story. Jump on the Jandra, then you can go and check out other wonderful bits of history of our community and our little villages that we have as well. So, you know, so lucky to have this and to be able to experience something as gorgeous as the Jandra on the Darling.
You can get on board PV Jandra 7 days a week, and if you do get to Bourke, the river trip is a must-do. Well, what an amazing couple of weeks on the road, starting off in Willow Tree and finishing here in Bourke. And I can say this without a doubt and wholeheartedly, you simply must put the Kamilaroi Highway on your road trip itinerary. It's a slice of Australia you have to discover for yourself. A huge thanks to everyone that's helped us along the way for our road trip. We've had the best time in this stunning region of New South Wales. Well, we're going to head back to base and prepare for our next road trip, so follow along with us on our socials so you know where we're road tripping to next. That's it from us. We'll see you next time, somewhere, sometime, here in this big, beautiful country we are lucky enough to call home. See you later.